Hi. Okay, so we're gonna do step by step cake decoration of vanilla rosette cake. I have been wanting to teach and show you guys how to do it, how to do a lot of things. I don't know, never got myself to do it, but now I'm like, okay. So if you guys have any questions, any techniques that you would like to learn, please ask and I'll help you. Full teaching zone, so please ask. Okay, so for this, first thing is we need to use a star tip. Okay, it's like how many points? 1 2 3 4 5 pointed star, small tip. I cut a little bit extra so this piping bag might burst, so we put a little buttercream over here. The buttercream has to be nice and soft, not too runny, still fluffy, but nice and soft. Only then you would get the swirls properly. Okay, then it's a vanilla rosette cake, so I use frozen rounds because it makes my life easier. So we make the border. You can do like 2 layers because the tip is smaller, so depending on how much thickness you would want inside. Please don't forget, in rosettes there's a lot of buttercream that goes outside, so use buttercream accordingly. If you like more buttercream in your cakes, then it's fine, but if you like the a nice balance, so that's it. 1 and 2. Make sure that the cake is thick enough. If you think that it's too short, then do not hesitate, feel free, add another layer. At Cupcake Paradise we sometimes do 2 or 3 depending on how thin or thick the layers have been baked. So that's that. Centered, okay. I like giving my customers an extra layer, they don't ask. It's like it's somebody's birthday, it's nice to give them. Okay, so now outside you gotta do a thin layer of buttercream, because as I mentioned, the rosettes have a lot of volume, so there's going to be a lot of frosting, so it's like almost like crumb coating the cake. So the best thing about using frozen cakes is that, so vegan buttercreams don't harden, because of course vegan butter is not real butter and it doesn't harden just like real butter. Like you can use certain consistencies of vegan butter to get it frozen like real butter, but that's not gonna taste the same because it has a lot of fat in it and the flavor doesn't. You can use oil-based flavors, but whatever. It's amazing to work with buttercream because it freezes so well. It took me so many years to understand that I need to use frozen cakes. I used to bake since I probably started selling in 2012, 2013, whatever. And that time I used to be like a very last minute baker. I used to do everything last moment. I'm not a procrastinator. I did everything I did too much last minute stuff, and I learned in baking the main thing is preparation. Okay, no last minute things. It's better to be prepared, because in the last moment things don't hold, something happens, things fall, the cake is too hot. You need to be prepared if you want to do baking like proper as a profession. and also have time for yourself, then you need to be prepared. Okay, so this is a rough crumb coat for the cake. Then for the rosette, every rose you do, you need to clean the tip. If you clean the tip, you see, you can see all the 5 sides of the rose. Okay, so let's start from the bottom. Change the camera. You start and end the rose. So when you're ending it, either you end it at the bottom or you take it all the way so that it looks like it's merging with the next one. Okay, let's see. I told you the bag is gonna burst. Let me change it. So change the bag. You see the 50%, like if this is the length of the tip, this is half. The tip needs to be cut. You only need to expose less than half of the tip. If you expose half or more than half, 100% chances that the bag is going to break and it's going to burst because of the pressure that you are applying. It is very easy for the bag to open more because you've already cut more than half of the tip. Don't expect it not to burst. Okay, then once you open that, you always have to take out the air bubble because there was buttercream inside the tip, and then you put more buttercream in the bag, so in the middle there's going to be a little air bubble. So take that out, otherwise your flower is going to be like okay. Start, go around. Make the end smooth so that it doesn't look like okay you have purposely stopped it. Let it blend. It's a rose, so it needs to be natural, free flowing. Okay. Try and keep the roses all of the same height. As we go, it's a natural tendency for the roses to get like taller and taller and taller. Remember how we write on a chalkboard and the handwriting goes slanting? Same way, because that's how it's like an illusion. But you gotta keep in mind and keep it at the same height. Okay. See, that was the air bubble. So if there's an air bubble, it's gonna be like that. Thing is gonna burst on your flower, and buttercream catches all the movements and it's gonna show up. Okay, I need to refill it. Look, I have 1 flower left. I mean, my bag is empty. Don't work with an empty bag. You know, you'll have to squeeze it to the end and use your fingers to hold it. It's not gonna give you a proper pressure. You need your palm grip to give it nice and smooth, consistent pressure. I'm gonna refill this. Again, while refilling the bag, when you put it, there's again going to be an air bubble, because you see the air. I put a fresh batch of buttercream over there, but this gap, there's air trapped over there. So you gotta release it and then start piping. Now when you're loading the buttercream, try to not incorporate a lot of air. Okay. So okay. So that's the air bubble. Okay. Now you have free flowing buttercream. If you put too much pressure from the top, you see how difficult it is. I have to press so hard. If you are into decorating, if you're going to decorate a lot of cakes, you need to take care of your wrist. So cut it in the middle, okay, twist it around, okay. Here you have a good grip. Thumb, pointer finger, and in this section, then you hold it, and you see I'm not pressing, I'm not putting that much pressure. It's nice and easy. Clean the tip, okay, clean the tip. Cannot emphasize on that enough. Let's change the angle. Okay, now you can see it. Okay, so it's nice and uniform. Now you gotta start from in between these two roses. Make a nice rose. If you think there's too much buttercream on the tip, then clean the tip. Ideally, you should clean your tip after every rose. But so you see the difference? Now, how far are you supposed to keep the tip from the cake? Don't touch the tip to the cake. Don't keep it so far. Keep it, I would say, like 2 millimeters, as thick you would want your rose to be. Don't forget, just by watching this video once, you may or may not be able to do it. There are multiple things you need to take into consideration. First is how easily your wrist flows. Second is how much practice you have. And third is how much dedication you have. Okay. If you find this is too difficult, just print a rose around, paste it and put it on fondant, put it around the cake, and yeah, but okay. This is to all the sincere students. Just do it properly, okay? So over here, my rosettes are going a little bit over the edge of the cake. Ideally, you can keep your rosettes a little bit smaller. Over here, it's looking like they are sitting on one top of the other. But if you want them to look everything in one plane, you need to make them a little bit smaller, okay? I'm not going to suddenly change the size right now because it's done, okay? So this is the side. It still looks beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it, but it looks like they're sitting, like this is the bottom one, then like it's bottom, then a little bit wider and a little bit wider. So for the top, rosette cakes have rosettes all around, but some customers also want a message written on the cake. So if they want a message, what are you gonna do? Let's see. Okay, so the rose needs to go on top of this. So when you're making it, you take it on top of the ledge, okay? Now for the middle, okay, you want to see that? Okay. So it's like this, okay? This is the cake. For the middle, we can just make it just like that, or number 1 or number 2 tip, like the small writing tip. Can you see it? It's this one, small writing tip. Okay, and then. So the main idea is not to disturb the pattern, okay, not to disturb the rosette pattern. We don't want it to look bad. We want to keep the beauty intact. So this is what we do, first of all, make like a circle, okay? So don't worry about it too much. Everything is going to be fine. Okay, this is your circle of where you're going to write your thing. Okay, now make these small pearls, telling you from experience that if you have roses in one place, do not put any more so if you have like an embossed design over here, the other design should be smooth. If you put, I could have used the same tip and made like you know how you make the cake border or some design like that. It would have ruined the look of it. So over here it still preserves the look of the thing, but it looks beautiful. In this case, the message is happy birthday, Lena. So you gotta figure out, okay, if it's happy birthday Lena, Leena, 5 letters, is it better to write it like this? Like this. You have to figure out how you're gonna fit it. The customer's clicking a picture, how are they gonna click a picture, which is the best side of the cake that you would want to show, because of course every cake has the best side. Okay, this is too thick, can't use, won't fit. Just took a smaller tip, it's way smaller, 00 kind of tip, and then you write the message. So whoever is doing this professionally, please, while making the cake, please don't forget that you have to deliver it or you send it or something. So make sure that first of all you have the correct size container for the cake or the box. And secondly, make sure that the cake is stable. Number one, if you're using any other buttercream other than anything that does not have real butter in it, or even if it has cream cheese or any of the soft ingredients like that, please be careful that the roses might slide down. To prevent that, the crumb coat that we just did, you're going to make the surface a little uneven so that the roses have more surface area to hold on to. Secondly, if you are, please try not to use too many soft fillings inside, because again, we don't want the roses to slide. We don't want any jams or anything oozing out. If you are putting jam inside, you need to make a border of buttercream and then fill the jam inside, so that, and level it so that there is no jam oozing out, because you don't want the roses to start falling off. Okay, so ideally it should look very symmetrical, look beautiful. The roses should look almost of equal size. The main thing is the custard, it needs to look pleasing. So for me, I just turned the tape over and I put it inside so this board is smaller than the base of the container. So if I don't put the tape, the cake is just gonna slide around, and like if a driver is taking it or something, it might hit the car and stuff. You made the cake, it's your responsibility to make sure that nothing happens to it. Okay, so you put it on the bottom, make sure it doesn't slide around, everything is nice and stable. Okay, over here it's touching the lid. Okay, it's touching the lid. Can't use this. So we're gonna modify the box a little bit. I want to be generous. I added another layer, so now I need to use another cake container. Everything costs money. So if you're selling it, you need to consider it. Okay, don't put everything in your pocket. This is how I modify the cake containers for taller cakes. Okay, for the rosette, you have to make sure it's not just the cake, the base of the cake, and the design of the container. So I take another lid, cut in the middle, little window for my cake. Okay, so that's the lid. Nothing is touching the thing anymore. Now I put another lid on top. So when you're putting this lid, okay, you see that there is perpetually another gap. That's it. You want this gap, so that's it. You just take this and you leave it. If you want it to be more stable so that nobody presses it, okay, even if you press it, nothing happens. None of the roses are touching. So this means it's a stable container. If I hit it, I move it, nothing's gonna happen. 100% safe. Okay. Whoever is watching this, you guys are watching with an intention of learning. It's great. Don't worry if I made any mistakes. Don't look out for my mistakes. If you guys learn even 1% and if you guys are able to improve from this, that's my goal. You may know more than me, you may know a lot, but even one small tip changes your decorating game and it makes you faster and better for your customers, better in any case, and it's a win. If you guys need any other cake decorating videos, if you guys think of something, if you guys want to tell me something, share your insights, if you guys have better ideas, please share with me. And one more thing, for the writing, if you guys think that it's complicated, it's too small, you don't want to mess up the cake, it's possible. Okay, you are great at making the cake, but the writing part gets a little difficult. Don't hesitate. Just cut a little fondant, measure it, cut a piece of fondant, write it with an edible marker on top of it. If your handwriting is better than your typing, like handwriting typing, then you can do that. Or you can also measure it, print a circle. But that, if you're putting anything fondant or a printed topper, that needs to go before making the top round, the top rosettes. If you guys want, you can also put like somebody's picture, make the picture cake. Just put the picture on top, keep everything the same, the sides and everything, just the top layer will go over the picture. So you also have to consider how much space you're keeping for the picture. Don't forget. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.